Today I'm just doing a quick review of the PetSafe automatic cat dispenser. We have a cat who likes to get fed early in the morning. We wanted something that would feed him first thing in the morning so that we didn't have to get up right away with him. He likes to cause trouble when we're not up right in the morning with him. So we went online. We found this one from Amazon. This one was about $170 Canadian, shipped for free. What we liked about it was that it had a big hopper in it. A hopper for all the food. It also had programmable adjustments that allowed you for different weights up to 12 different times a day, and it actually will hold quite a bit of food. So here's the actual box that it came in. On the side, that's what the unit actually looks like. It comes with a sturdy metal bowl, and the metal bowl actually fits into the unit so your cat won't just push it out of the way. That way if it drops food for more than a day or two in a row, it's not going to be a big deal. It comes with programmable settings. It's easy to set the number of meals, meal times, and portion size. It has a locking lid to keep your cat from knocking it off. You can schedule up to 12 meals a day. It says easy to use LCD. I'll let you know about that in a minute. And it's got a big hopper. So that was one of the things that we wanted to make sure was that it could actually hold quite a bit of food, so we wouldn't have to consistently be refilling it. If you want to see the side, this is what the actual control panel looks like. So it's got the amount of meals, it's got a battery indicator. I'm not sure what the dog mode part is, so I'm going to figure that out. View the time and settings. You can do an immediate feed, you can pause a feed, you can slow down a feed. It dispenses all the meals at a slow rate over a 15-minute period, so your cat doesn't get sick eating real quick. It's got some different modes as well, and as well the meal sizing that you want to use. So lots of different features on it. I haven't ever seen this thing or tried it, so I'm curious to see how it works. For $170, I expect it's going to be great. If it's not, I'm going to be disappointed, I think, especially for the amount of money this thing was. Although we have the robotic kitty litter machine, and I love that thing, and it was well worth the money. So we're going to open it up now and take a look. So I'm just going to open the box. Forgive me, no tripod on this one. I didn't want to make this a huge production. I just wanted to film it and take a look. I will say the one thing I was irritated with right from the very start was I understood that this thing takes batteries as backup. You need D-cell batteries, which are those big round ones, and those are expensive, so that kind of sucked. The other thing was it didn't come with its own power cord, and I had to order that separate, which was another $20, so I thought that was a total rip. They should have included that. Oh, nice. Sorry, get the box out of the way here. So it looks like it's all in one big package here. That's what it looks like. Sorry. A little hard to see probably from the video here. I'm swinging all over. So it's just one thing in the bag. Looks like let's see. I'm going to try and open it with one hand here. See if it's possible. Hang on. I'm going to wide angle this thing. There we go. And I can't, so I'm just going to set it on my lap and I open the bag. Forgive me. Alright, so here it is. Okay, so if you want to, first things first, at the bottom, I saw it when I was opening it. Where's the battery cover? There's the plug, the spot for the plug that we had to buy separate. It's a $20 power brick, and it was on Amazon. I think you can probably buy generic ones, but I wasn't sure which kind it needed, so I thought I'd get the actual one that came with it. And here's the slot for the batteries as well. So it does do battery backup. A little hard to see. Maybe here, I'll turn it towards the light. There it is. It does have battery backup in case your power goes out. Your pet will at least get fed that way, which is probably a good thing, right? You don't want your cat not getting fed. Here's the actual unit itself. From a sizing appearance, it's not too large. It's kind of the side profile here. Like overall, it's fairly thin. It's not too wide, which I thought it was actually gonna be a lot bigger than it is, which is kind of nice that it's not. On top here, here's a locking button. So if you can see right there, there's a locking button, which I think you can just lift this up. I'm gonna try one-handed. It's sort of hard. Oh, well, there we go. Just lifts off. Inside is the some instructions. That's just phone numbers for help. I guess customer care numbers. Ooh, that's a thick manual. Probably in about 37 languages, I would imagine. What else did they give you? This is a Pet feeder quick start guide. Okay, so it's a quick start guide. Hopefully it'll just get to the basics. Here's the metal dish. So there's a metal bowl. Doesn't feel very heavy. It's pretty light. Probably fake metal. Sounds like metal, but is there such a thing as fake metal? Oh, I gotta open it. Hang on. I'm gonna sit here for a second. All right. It's been opened. So there's the dish. It's a good sized dish. That's the kind of the depth of it. It comes with this holder. It looks like this is like a plastic holder, and it's gonna attach in here somewhere, probably underneath the unit. Let me see. Let me see here. I'm not 100% sure where yet. I'm still working that out. There's the hopper, so we can see in there. Aim it into the light here a bit. Guess the food just dumps in there, and then it automatically goes. It looks like there's like a conveyor belt on the inside here. Obviously you can't see that. You kind of can from the video. There, I'll brighten it up a little. Looks like a bit of a conveyor belt. So it looks like the food probably travels along that, and oh, it does come out. So let's take a look. There we go. Now you can see it in action. So it's totally a conveyor belt, and then underneath there's a motor. So you can see the motor on the bottom there. Just gonna aim it into the light here so you can get a better look. Let's show you the inside here. There's the motor. There's the guts. So this looks like the food probably gets picked up and travels along here, and then it dumps out here, and then it comes out the bottom. Oops. Comes out the bottom right here into the bowl. So I'm gonna just pause this for a second and assemble it quickly, and then I will come back. There we go. Now you can see it in action. So it's totally a conveyor belt, and then underneath there's a motor. So you can see the motor on the bottom there. Just gonna aim it into the light here so you can get a better look. Let's show you the inside here. There's the motor. There's the guts. So this looks like the food probably gets picked up and travels along here, and then it dumps out here, and then it comes out the bottom. Oops. Comes out the bottom right here into the bowl. So I'm gonna just pause this for a second and assemble it quickly, and then I will come back. Okay, so from a setup perspective, it literally takes about 2.5 minutes to put it together. It's very simple. This clips right into the bottom. There's a spot right underneath here, and it just slides right in. I don't know if you can sort of see it there, but it just pops in. Once that's in, you can just put your bowl in there. I actually flipped the unit over and put these giant, enormous batteries in there. I got these on Amazon as well. I guess that's good for battery backup. I'm not going to plug it in yet. And then as soon as I did that, the actual LCD started to blink here with, I guess, what I need to do next. So I'm going to grab the quick start guide, and we can figure out what goes on from here. The instructions don't look too crazy. It shows that there's a time indicator on the LCD, a button lock indicator, battery indicator, a power adapter indicator showing if there's power connected or not, meal number indicator, meal size, so you can size it how you want it, what kind of pet you're trying to feed, your dog, your cat. And then it's got, if you want to, like the slow feed indicator and some of the other little things. So, and underneath it shows sort of the instructions on how to do that. So I'm going to spend a couple minutes and figure out how to set it up for the cat, and then I will come back and let you know how it went. Never used one before, so let's see how it goes. So just so I'm keeping you guys in the loop here, the instructions indicated that I needed to make sure everything was assembled properly, so I took it apart again and looked on the inside. Everything was already hooked up. Right now I have to set the time on this thing. It's currently 8:42 p.m. so that seems pretty easy. Just press the up arrow here. I got it on AM right now, so if I keep going here, I think, yep, 8:42. Let's see if this does it. Yep, switch to the next one, and pretty straightforward here, I think, so far. That's step one, after you've cleaned everything and put it together, which we were already doing. I'm gonna hit enter in the middle here. Okay, so I got the time set. Now it's asking me if it's a cat or a dog, so I'm gonna say it is a, don't know what user it is, but cat. There we go. And what time, I think that's what time I want to feed it. So let's take a look at that. So the instructions are pretty well laid out here, actually. They go through them step by step. The default schedule for cat is default feeding schedule for cat. Pet feeder is preset to 2 59 milliliter or quarter cup meals per day at 8 a.m. So these are all changeable. Oh, that might be the option for the user setting, the one that I was looking at. So you can either set it for a dog or a cat or a user setting. User option allows the feeding schedule to be customized by setting number of meals, meal times, and meal sizes. Up to 12 meals can be scheduled each day within a 24-hour period. Man, such a fat cat. The meal times can be set in 15-minute increments. Meal sizes can be set from 29 milliliters, which is 1/8 of a cup increments, with a minimum portion of 29 milliliters, which is 1/8 of a cup, to a maximum of up to 4 cups. My cat could never do that. He would puke. Okay, so I'm going to set the default schedule for the cat here. I think that's what it's asking me what time. So I'm going to try and play with that for a sec. I will come back and let you know if that was easy. Okay, all in all, it seemed pretty straightforward. There's lots of different options in terms of the quantity that you want to feed the pet, how many times a day you want to feed it at what time. I found it pretty easy to set up. I set this thing to feed him once at 6:30 in the morning and a quarter cup. So I've got to go upstairs now, load the hopper, and then figure out how much a quarter cup actually is, if that's what he eats or how much he does eat. We do have a cup that we use for him every day right now that we manually feed him with, so I'm going to go take a look at that. In terms of the care and use of this thing, they recommend that obviously before you use it, you clean it. So the bowl, the conveyor belt, and then you can also remove the conveyor belt and the bowl very easily. So as time goes on, and the hopper, and you want to keep the device clean, you can frequently, take it apart. It looked very easy to take apart based on, just the few minutes that I've been playing with it. And then clean off the pieces so that you can keep your unit nice and sanitary and nice and neat. I know that I have to clean our cat food container out that we use quite frequently just to keep it nice. Yeah, the instruction manual was very large, but there's only about, I don't know, 10 pages of the English stuff that you need, or whatever language you're doing this in, and the rest is all the other languages, so lots of paper and not a lot of content. Yeah, so far, all in all, fairly easy to set up. Not a lot of assembly required at all. There was hardly any. I just had to clip the bowl on, and now I'm going to fill it up and try it out. So here's our old container, the one we used to store the cat food. I did measure it. Kitty gets about half a cup of food a day, first thing in the morning, and that's all we do. We feed him the once in the day. He's happy with that. And we've obviously given fresh water and all that stuff. So I am going to load the hopper and set this from a quarter cup to a half cup, and I'll see how it goes. We'll try it out. So that container had maybe a half bag of cat food. That's all we have right now. I had to get more, but I didn't go up into the hopper hardly at all. If you can see in here, there's still plenty of room for a lot more food, so we can easily store a whole bag of food in this thing, I think. A whole bag of cat food, so I don't really see any issues with that. And a whole bag lasts Kitty a good couple of weeks, so I think that's going to be great in terms of how much we can actually put in here. I'm going to set this thing now. So to set it, you have to first, if it's unlocked, if you haven't touched it in 2 minutes, it'll actually lock the button so your cat can't make changes. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. Right now it's still unlocked, so to change it, I just have to hit the enter button here, and it cycles through the time. Let me see if I get this right. Yeah, there we go. So it's going through the time. Now I'm going to get to the cup size, and I'm going to go 3/8. I'm going to go half a cup. I hit enter, and that's it. It's set now. So I can also put it into, whoops, getting ahead of myself here. I think I can lock it myself. Let me try. No, I'm not sure how to do that part. It's okay though. I'm going to test it. Not exactly sure. This button here, I think you can feed anytime you want on demand. Nope. Somehow I got to get out of this. Oh shoot, now I have 5/8 of a cup. Okay, there we got half a cup again. Okay, how do I get out of here? I'm new too, so let's see here. No, that takes me to the different menus. This button actually brings you around, okay. That's for the different feeding. See the number at the top? It's changing. I can feed the cat up to 12 times. Obviously you can set the timing for all of those. I'm not going to. I've only got him fed once. Oh, there we go. What's this one? 5 p.m. I don't want this one filled in. I'm still new at it, sorry. Alright, now I'm just monkeying with buttons. I should read. Okay, reading's gonna be helpful. I will be back. Okay, I futzed around a little there, pressing a lot of buttons, but essentially what I needed to do was, because I've only programmed the one meal, which is the meal number 1, it's gonna go off at 6:30 in the morning with half a cup. What I needed to do when I was on this screen was actually just press and hold this arrow here in the middle for 5 seconds, and then that locked it in. So the reason it didn't work is I was actually on one of the other meal times that you can program. So if you can do up to 12 different sessions, I was on one of the ones that had 0 and there was no configuration, and it wouldn't let me come out. But once I went back to the one that I have programmed and I pressed this, it took me out of here. So what's going to happen now is after 2 minutes, the screen will show a little lock symbol so that the cat can't press any of the buttons. And then at 6:30 tomorrow morning, it's going to feed half a cup. So the only thing I do want to try right now is just to make sure it's going to work. So I got to figure out how to actually test it. So that's the first thing I'm going to try next. Okay, just for the record, this thing says it'll hold 24 cups of food, so that's a ton of food as far as I'm concerned. It does have this button here which says it's the immediate feed button, so we're going to try that, see if it does anything. Maybe I have to hold it down. No, I'm locked now. Hold on one sec, let's try this. So that takes the lock off. Here we go, immediate feed. Here goes. You can hear it moving. I can see food in the hopper moving slowly. Is it going to come out? What's it doing? Okay. I'm not 100% sure what just happened there. Maybe I have to press the button again? Nothing came out. Why is that? More reading required. Success! I got it to actually dispense food. Now the big question is, did it do a half cup like I wanted it to? So I pressed this arrow button here. I wasn't in the right spot earlier. I had to actually prepare the conveyor belt, which was just a simple 2-button command I had to use. Once I did that, then I was able to dispense the meal. So the good thing is, if you were up before 6:30 and you wanted to feed your cat, you don't have to wait for this. If you didn't want to, you can actually just come press the button and it'll automatically do it. I did bring a measuring cup. I'm going to pour this into this big jug here first, so not to make a mess. And I will pour that into the measuring cup, and let's see what we get. So if we got a half cup or not, because I want it to be, whoops, accurate. Obviously I don't want Kitty puking all over the carpet. So I would say success. That looks to be, to me, close enough to a half cup. So yeah, let's see if I can do it again. Let's try it again. So pour that back in. Probably won't work this time now that I probably don't know how to do it now. So okay, so here it is. I press this button here. Oh, come on, really? Says it's 9:09 p.m. right now. Oh. Here we go. Let's try here. Press this button here. Alright, press and hold that button. Change the timer. Hold on. Okay, I am going to go through here. Set this timer. Let's see. I'm going to set the timer like it was brand new here, like I had never done this before, because I just did the feeding. So let's try it now. So here we go. Half cup. Set this thing here. Hold it down. Alright, no. Try this again. It's programming it. There it is. It's programmed in. So now I think it'll work. Let's try it. Yes. Okay, so you can hear it. Done. Okay, so we're gonna measure it once more. See how it looks. Dump it into that one. Pour it into here. Looks good. Half cup again. So, I think I got it figured out. It's my first time using it, so there's a couple little quirks to it. It's really not that hard to set up. So basically, you set the time on the unit, you set when you want to feed, how many times, and how much. And then once you do that, you actually load the conveyor belt for the first time so that it's got food in it. And then once it's done, it'll automatically do the feeding. I did read in here if you want to immediately feed your cat, which was this button here, the one I was pressing, and it wasn't working. It actually tells you why. So it says in here, push immediately to dispense next scheduled meal. Only one meal in a row can be immediately fed. A meal must automatically be dispensed before the immediate feed will be used again. So what happened was when I was trying to show you guys and it didn't work, I'd already done it once because I managed to do it off camera. And then it won't let me do it until the actual scheduled meal time would go. So what I did was I just reset this while you guys were watching, and I got it to do it again with that button. So if I try now, it won't work. See, it doesn't work. But if I reprogram it again to 6:30 and start it over again in here, it'll let me do it. So now it's programmed for tomorrow morning at 6:30 for Kitty. And I'm going to go put this upstairs where it belongs, and I will report back tomorrow after his first feeding to let you know how it goes. So it's the next morning. It's 7:39 a.m. I had set this thing up so that at 6:30 it would go off. Here it is here. It worked. It filled up the food. There's Kitty. Apparently Kitty's a little bit afraid of the machine so far. Our youngest daughter was up when this went off, and it went off in increments, so the turtle mode on it worked, which is the slow feed. Although I don't know that I need to for him. I could, but right there, that's the slow feed. In the corner there. And it put it out in little increments, so I didn't eat it all at once. But so far he's not eating too much. Usually he'd have a lot more food done so far. I don't think he liked the noise of the machine. So here he is here. He's still kind of exploring it and looking at it. I think he'll get used to it though. We'll see over the next couple of days how he does. Once he gets hungry, he'll eat, I think. And he'll get used to the noise. And that's it.